Okay, now before we heard the sounds of Angie Stone, I did talk about organic contemporary artist Silvia Krupinska, who will be coming in the house. And as you know, the deal right now, Silvia comes in once a month to talk about her Artist of the Month. Hello, Silvia. How are you doing?
Hello, Rosemary. Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Very well as well. The sun is out. So I'm always superb when the sun is out. So today, we're going to be talking about a person called Carne Phillips, is it?
Griffiths.
Griffiths. Griffiths.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely name, Carne Griffiths. Okay, so take it away. Who is Carne?
Thank you, Carne Griffiths is my local artist from East London. He focuses on drawing, and he's also an illustrator and artist. He was born in Formby, near Liverpool, and he was telling me about the Red Squirrel Reserve and the sand dunes where he used to play around, which was really nice and exciting.
Wow, sounds like a great place where you used to live.
Yes, I think so. And he also lived in New Zealand for 3 years earlier in his early teens, but now he works and lives in East London, where he's got his studio and creates his beautiful drawings.
And how did you come across him?
He actually exhibited in the Stone Space, which is my local gallery.
Right.
And that was before I knew him better. And now I kind of decided, yes, I'd like to talk about Carne. So,
good.
He studied at the University for the Creative Arts in Maidstone, and then he became a gold wire embroidery designer. For 12 years he was in that creative position, which was wonderful because that's where he developed and enriched his kind of sense for flora and plants and floral pattern and repetition. And also the movement, which he uses in his drawings till today, and always explore them in one or different angles. It always comes up in his work. The mediums he's using are also standard inks and calligraphy pens, graphites and paper, depending on what drawing it is. But something that really separates him from the rest of the crowd of the artists is that he uses tea and also brandy and alcohol and vodka to work into his drawings after the first initial stage to add a different dimension.
Okay, so what? That's adding depth with the colour.
Yes, he uses the tea and the colour and the pigments of those dyes that not so common to use for the paper, and relaxes almost the drawing, kind of expresses and not really preciously, sort of almost kind of just going with the flow, and often washing out the previous drawing with a pen and working in layers and creating these beautiful, often floral patterns or portraits of people.
I wonder if tea and brandy are his favourite drinks as well.
Interestingly, I asked him that whether he also drinks, and he said it's inseparable part of that. Yes,
it's all part of his creativeness. So his main subject, and I suppose, is flowers. Yes,
it is.
Well, why his love for flowers?
I think because of where he was born and brought up. I think it has a lot to do with the kind of environment, the reserve I was mentioning earlier, and sometimes it's just in you, like often it is in the artists. When I went to study his work, visiting the Stone Space Gallery in Leytonstone, and his exhibition called Eden, entered the space, and it was covered with pots of plants and almost these big trees like flowers, and he encouraged people to bring or lend him the plants and different flowers, so he could draw them over the 2-week period that he was occupying the space. It seemed like it's almost like an performance piece. He built, he put boards around the walls, 2 of the walls, and he lined the paper on them, and he would draw the surroundings. People would be looking through a large window from the outside, and kind of also in the evenings you can see the light on, and he would be there scribbling. And addition to that was the live broadcast. He was broadcasting online as he was drawing. So that's why I say it's a bit of a performance as well.
Yes.
And when I entered, I thought, that looks like it could be a jungle. It could grow into anything. And I could almost hear a stream of water coming, and the atmosphere blew me away. It was very well done.
If you just tuned in, welcome along. Silvia Krupinska is in the house talking about her Artist of the Month, who is Carne Griffiths. We'll talk some more to Silvia after Faith Evans. Silvia Krupinska still in the house talking about her Artist of the Month, Carne Griffiths. So, Silvia, you're talking about the Eden project. So I'm just trying to visualize this now. So we have canvases on the wall where Carne has actually drawn all these glorious, beautiful flowers. And we also have real plants and flowers as part of the installation. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
the installation was growing every day as the visitors were coming into the space and either donated or lent him the pots. And I brought him actually a seaweed.
How did you?
Yes. It had to be in water, so yeah. But so that was happening over 2 weeks,
right.
And the walls were gradually getting covered with the drawings. And as he was talking with people, he could draw, and then the installation was taken off the walls and moved down a few meters down the stone space down to the slate gallery, which is community run space, and it's still on show if you'd like to see. Go down to Leytonstone.
Oh, good. So it has moved, but it's still on
not
on
far
display.
from there.
All right. And where's the exhibition now? Just explain.
The gallery is in Leytonstone, the Stone Space Gallery, and the exhibition that has been moved was just a few meters down from the Stone Space Gallery, called the Slate Gallery.
Gallery, okay.
It's kind of window space where the work is visible from outside.
Very good. So you can still see Carne Griffiths' display.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned that you could also hear water. Where was that sound coming from?
From my head.
Right, okay. I thought maybe he was been playing something, but no, but you imagined, did you?
I did. I was completely transformed. He succeeded very well to kind of bring me into that almost tranquil sort of state of mind.
Do you know, and I'm also thinking, I mean, if people were donating all sorts of plants and flowers, was there any room to move in that space?
There was. He arranged it so there was this sort of pathway going. Yes, but for the private view, he had moved them towards the window, so it was more spacious there.
Okay, and what else is he working on?
Well, contrasting the tranquility I was talking about just now, the different exploration of plants and series is called The Violence of Flowers, where he explored the different hidden signs and strengths of the plants and flowers. Often hidden qualities such as the thorns, in roses or thistles, and also the almost protective sort of mechanisms of the plants, how to be safe against the predators and also human beings sometimes. And also he mentioned in that series, while we was working on it, he looked at the shooting element of plants, how they shoot off the seeds into this air and space, and the speed and the energy. It was
how they shoot off. What do you mean?
Yes, well, when the plant is ready and the seed is ready to be released.
Yes.
Some plants have the mechanism in them that actually they release the seed by almost spitting it out.
Right. Okay.
So that sort of sense of, we don't call it aggression, but also kind of sense of survival in them that we often don't realize the plants have. The sort of mechanism, yes.
So he's got a separate piece which shows
he's got a lot of sketches and drawings, and he makes a lot of drawings, and so another whole series that was exploring the violence of flowers. And the tea marks and the mark making was much more expressive, and that's my favourite.
Yeah, now that's interesting.
Works.
So is that being shown at the same place?
That's not being shown at the moment. No, that had been shown earlier, but it's still available to see on his website, which is carnegriffiths.com, which is CARNEGRIFFITHS.com.
Okay.
So go there and watch it out. Moving on, I mentioned Eden earlier, something that had originated from the next piece. I'm going to talk about the undergrowth. It was an installation drawing in a proper house, in a house where he had studied the surroundings of the house and the plants around the house, in the garden. Not often the beauties, also the weeds and so on. And the drawing spreads out from the front door, going through the corridor, up the stairs, the landing, and also there are lots of flowers, and also imagine flowers that he imagined and drawn, but the group of bees as well, flying in an arc towards a very unusual beehive, which is represented by a girl in this occasion. And the girl she has her hands sort of spread out a little bit towards the front, and the honey is dropping down to the floor, and the other elements of plants.
The honey is what, from her hand?
Yes. Yeah. And the plants are going up to the ceiling, and they are kind of reclaiming the space. And yes, and this piece is still available to view and see. If you get in contact with the Carne Griffiths, he'll tell you more about it.
That again sounds like the dark side of the flowers.
Maybe it's just my interpretation, but
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the plants are just taken over when you're talking about them, going up the stairs and what have you, and then to me it's like, oh, they're taken over. How do we get out of here?
Yeah,
but are they pretty looking flowers?
They are. Most of the time, the way he uses the tea and ings. It's very tasteful and doesn't make you feel like, oh, okay, I better get out. It makes you feel like you want to lie down there and just imagine what's happening.
And just soak it all
back
in.
To nature.
Wow, wow. And just remind us of his website address, please.
It's carnegriffiths.com, which is CarneGriffiths.com.
Wonderful. And he is Silvia Krupinska's Artist of the Month. And before you go, Silvia, how do you actually choose your Artist of the Month?
I do visit a lot of exhibitions and get around town and talk with artists, and well, maybe you've noticed a certain element comes up that they use either tea or food, or I like something quirky about sculptors, artists, whoever, whatever they do. It's something that differentiates them and something that I couldn't do.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much again for popping in to tell us about
your artist.
Thank you very much.